The 24-year-old was on his honeymoon and was swept away from his new wife.
As those days kept on going and going, it was becoming more and more apparent that the likelihood was that we weren't going to find him.
You hear stories about people, but you never think that it's going to happen to someone that's close to you. So the fact that it's happened to basically one of our brothers, we spent nearly every day with each other. It was pretty hard to take.
Thankfully, Tricia was able to escape. She would become the face of the tragedy as Troy's shocked teammates dedicated the 2005 season to their fallen demon. On Monday, the 16th of September at the Camberwell Town Hall, Melbourne's fans voted to merge with Hawthorn, but the Hawks faithful were dead against it. Don Scott providing the enduring image. In the end, both clubs remained as separate entities, but only just.
If it wasn't the greatest story in my time in football, it was for a long time.
1965 was the year. Norm was the defending premiership coach. He'd coached the Demons to 10 consecutive final series. 6 of those seasons provided flags. He started the year with 8 straight wins, but the Demons committee still swung the most unexpected axe and sacked the icon.
No one would come and tell me, just a special messenger turned up and handed the letter, and I read the letter, and I would say that I was rather shocked.
The Melbourne champion, the Melbourne legend, and the Melbourne despot, I must say, was out the door.
Even to this day, it's hard to explain, and to this day, the Demons have yet to add to their titles. Norm Smith would eventually be named football's Coach of the Century. Norm Smith's ally and greatest player was Ron Barassi. He too was a Demon icon, until 1965 when he quit to become a Blue.
Melbourne people just couldn't comprehend that this could happen because he was the heart and soul and the symbol of Melbourne, of the great Melbourne teams, and he was gone. Suddenly from a premiership captain in 64, he's the coach of the enemy in Carlton in 65.
The fact it happened was one thing. The fact Barassi became just as great at Carlton was no surprise.
It was a masterstroke. I mean, Norm Smith, I think, wanted Ron Barassi to go to Carlton. Not because he wanted to keep his job at Melbourne, but because he wanted Ron to fulfil his ambitions. Barassi was a coach in waiting. Everyone thought he would coach Melbourne after Smith. He's gone to Carlton and he's turned the club around.
As captain coach, he'd lead this team to a breakthrough flag in 68. It triggered untold success. 8 flags in 27 years. The greatest period the Blues had known. All thanks to Ronald Dale's poaching.